Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I think this is a good time, good chance. This is my last tawaf, and I just like to mention to you the background about why this beautiful house happened to be here, which happened to be the holiest site for Muslims around the world. As some of you may or may not know, started with the story of Adam and Eve, creation of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala created Adam and his wife Eve, and then generations and generations after that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us in the Quran that Adam and Eve commit a mistake, disobeyed Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Because of that, they had to leave Jannah. They were created in Jannah to stay there forever. Because of their disobedience, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent them to earth. With them was Satan, who had deceived them. This is a long story, but Satan had promised that he's going to deceive human beings, go to the left and right and front and the back and deceive them, except those who believe. So in order for Allah to protect human beings, Allah sent prophets one after another. We have the story of Prophet Nuh, that for 950 years he lived most of his life. He invited people to worship only one God. Most of them did not follow him, and we know the story of the flood came and destroyed the nation. Then we have come to Prophet Abraham. Prophet Abraham was the master of monotheism. He also invited his people, including his own father, his own household, to worship Allah only. They disobeyed, and they even tried to burn him. He moved away, him and some of his close families, they moved away. And then Abraham, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala blessed him with a son named Ishmael. Abraham moved him away because his wife Sarah also had a child, and there was some kind of a dispute. And then Allah allowed or commanded Prophet Abraham to move Prophet Ishmael away from them. Where do you think he brought? He was commanded to bring. It was this place, as you can see, is very beautiful. This was a barren desert, and he left them. He left them here, and he asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to protect them. So it turned out that Hajar, his wife Hajar, going back and forth between two mountains, Safa and Marwa, which the pilgrims go. That's part of the process that the pilgrims go, and they do 7 times. They make the tawaf, and as a remembrance of Hajar going back and forth looking for water because the child was dying. Turns out the child, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala creates some beautiful water, which is Zamzam, gushes out of the ground, and this way the child is safe, the mother is safe, and this became like a community. People came and gathered around here. They built houses around here, and then as the child grew and became a young man, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala ordered them to build a house, which is this house right here. However, this house was not like this. It was just something small that he built. Not that Allah was going to be in the house. It was a remembrance of Allah. It was a symbol of monotheism. So I'm just going to read. Prophet Abraham says, قال إبراهيم رب اجعل هذا بلدا آمنا وارزق أهله من الثمرات من آمن منهم بالله واليوم الآخر. He made a dua. He made a dua, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala answered his dua. And when he made this house, Prophet Abraham said, إذ يرفع إبراهيم القواعد من البيت وإسماعيل ربنا تقبل منا إنك أنت السميع العليم. So he had asked Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to accept it, and then he asked Allah to show them the manasik, the rituals of the Hajj, and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala showed him. And then Prophet Abraham called people from all over everywhere to come and do the rituals of Hajj. What we're doing is exactly goes back to 4,000 years. Then the Prophet Abraham passed away. Prophet Ishmael continued, his progeny continued until such time that they all passed away and people forgot about it. So what happened? This place became a house of idols. People brought idols. They bought and sold idols, brought here. It became a horrible place for people to come to because they were worshiping idols. In the meantime, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has sent prophets, thousands of prophets to children of Israel on the other side, from the side of Isaac. But to the Arabs and this side of the world, Allah had not sent the prophet for thousands of years until Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala sent Prophet Muhammad, may peace be upon him, and he is the one that started asking people to worship only one God, and he of course faced incredible opposition, and they wanted to kill him. They destroyed many of the belongings of his followers. He ended up moving to Medina, and then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, he gave him power with all his followers over several wars that they had together. Finally he won, and basically the Arabic Peninsula became a monotheistic land, which later on became worldwide spread. Now we have over 2 billion Muslims. They come here, the ones that can come. This is not a Hajj, this is Umrah, it says lesser Hajj. They come here to worship Allah, to remember Allah, to purify themselves, to purify their intention, whatever dua they have, supplication they have. This is a place they feel like there's no place to come closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala than this place right here. Everybody pours their hearts and they worship Allah, and you see the men are wearing white, which is nothing is stitched on them, nothing is sewed on them. This is a symbol of purity, to leave out anything behind. We don't know whether there's a king here or whether there's a peasant next to each other. People come here, different languages, care for each other, love for each other, and then the main thing is to worship Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, ask Him for help, ask Him for forgiveness, and this becomes like a lifetime memory. They, inshallah, they will take it back to their country, and they encourage other people to do the same thing. And this was a very short story of how this house came to be here, and hope if you're watching this, you're Muslim, you make it, you come here. If you're not Muslim, you read the Quran, which is the book that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala revealed during the 23 years of Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, prophecy. It has everything, the life, it has everything we need to know about life, about marriage, about business, about wars, about everything we need to know. It's in there. That's the only book that has never been changed. It's a divine book, and I recommend everyone who has not read it to read it and consider Islam as your religion. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.